I'm Ashley. My name's Alexis. We did our project on Strongyles, which we're going to play for you right now.
The greatest enemy to our horses is a family of nematodes that go by many names. Some call them bloodworms. Others simply refer to them as the worst of the worms. We know them as Strongyles. This family is out for blood and is the most dangerous worm around.
There are two sides of the family. There are the large Strongyles and the small Strongyles. Both of them in their adult forms have well-defined mouths and damaging teeth. But they each specialize in their own methods of destruction. This family has only one desired target. These sneaky parasites prey on our unsuspecting equine friends. Their eggs are found and hatched in manure. This is where their journey to fulfill their purpose begins. Somewhere between 45 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit, the eggs will hatch in the manure. The feces hold everything that these hatchlings initially need. The larvae feed on bacteria and organic material found within the feces. They will molt into L2 stage larvae and continue to ingest as many nutrients as they can. Once they molt to the L3 stage, the action truly begins. They plant themselves in the grass and bide their time, waiting for a horse to come and eat the grass. The L3 stage is a race against the clock. In this stage, the larvae do not have mouths and cannot eat. They rely solely on energy within their intestinal cells that they stored while in their L2 stage. These small worms are only able to store minimal amounts of energy, which will not last them long, so it's crucial that they find an equine host as soon as possible. Warm weather also puts them at a disadvantage because it makes them exhaust their energy much faster, causing the worm to die more rapidly. Cold weather is ideal because it will extend their life pre-host. These worms are built with one advantage though. They are covered in a protective mucosal sheath which helps them to not dry out in the outside environment. Once the horse ingests the L3 larva, they shed their protective sheath, no longer needing it within the horse's moist environment. There are 3 members of the large Strongyles family, and they all wish to take their own path. Strongyles vulgaris penetrate the intestinal mucosa and wait there until they are ready to molt. Once in their L4 stage, they penetrate the vessels and migrate through the arteries until they reach the cranial mesenteric artery. The time from infection to detection is typically about 6 to 8 months. The cranial mesenteric artery is a very important vessel that carries oxygenated blood to the intestines. Strongyles vulgaris can cause damage and even necrosis of the tissues of the vessel. The damage causes inflammation of the vessel, which impedes necessary blood flow to the intestines and causes colic, which is the #1 killer of horses.
Strongyles edentatus. These larvae penetrate the intestine and migrate to the liver using the portal vein. The liver is where they molt into L4 stage. After about 9 weeks, they migrate into the peritoneum, that's the membrane that lines the abdominal cavity. They also migrate to the large intestine and eventually the colon. All of the migrating causes serious damage to the horse's tissues.
Horses suffer from many negative side effects due to large Strongyles. These side effects include rapid weight loss, loss of appetite, fever, lethargy, poor performance. It can also cause localized hemorrhage, swelling, and bleeding ulcers in the lining of the cecum and the colon. Strongyles can also cause anemia and decrease levels of protein in the blood. And they restrict blood flow to the gastrointestinal tract and cause severe thromboembolic colic due to disruptions of the blood supply to the intestines. Small Strongyles are small and hair-like, but can still be seen with the naked eye. Unlike their counterparts, small Strongyles do not migrate. They go straight for the lining of the large intestines and set up house. This means that each larvae makes a thin, tough capsule of scar tissue to surround itself. This temporarily protects the horse from the parasite, and the capsule protects the larva from its host's immune reactions. These larvae can live encysted for months and maybe even years. Eventually, the cyst will rupture, and this causes intense local inflammation, and the tissues around the cyst will suffer hemorrhage, edema, local infiltration of inflammation cells, and the host could become anemic due to blood loss. The cyst rupture can also cause diarrhea, weight loss, and severe hypoproteinemia. One thing you need to understand is there is no preventing Strongyles. There is no way to guarantee that your horse will never encounter this nasty family of worms. However, you can prevent the accumulation of large numbers. Owners should set up a routine deworming regimen for their horses and stick to it. Broad-spectrum dewormers should be used because they are effective against large Strongyles, small Strongyles, ascarids, and pinworms.
Popular dewormers include ivermectin, moxidectin, fenbendazole, and pyrantel. Make sure you read the labels because there are exceptions to which life stage each medication will kill. Most do not kill the migrating larva, but ivermectin and moxidectin will kill the migrating larva.
Now that you know the dangers that lurk in the grass, I urge you to begin a deworming regimen to ensure a healthy horse.